Yo, what's really going on in hip-hop right now? 'Cause the streets are buzzing, Twitter's on fire. And fans are saying we just stepped into a whole new era of rap warfare. That's right, Kendrick Lamar just lit the fuse again, and this time, it's personal. Word is, the Compton King himself dropped some cryptic bars in an unreleased track that leaked online last night. Bars that had Drake's name written all over M. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a lyrical jab. It was a straight-up declaration of war. But wait, that's not even the craziest part. Apparently, Drake's camp is panicking behind the scenes after what insiders are calling a multi-million-dollar loss tied to his brand partnerships. Yeah, you heard that right, millions? Fans are saying Kendrick didn't just come for Drake's legacy, he came for his bag. The hip-hop world is divided. Instagram lives are going wild. And old friends are picking sides like it's Rap Civil War Part 2. And just when things couldn't get messy, Joe Budden jumps in, firing shots at both sides. On his podcast, he went off like a man who's been waiting for this moment. "This ain't rap beef," Joe said. "This is ego warfare disguised as art." His words got fans questioning who's really the puppet master behind the scenes, from secret texts to studio leaks. From betrayal in the inner circle to major label politics, this story's got it all. So grab your popcorn, because we're about to break down how Kendrick reignited the flames, how Drake might be losing more than money, and how Joe Budden just turned this whole thing upside down. Stay tuned, because this isn't just hip-hop news. It's hip-hop history in the making. The moment that leaked audio hit the internet, the entire hip-hop world froze. Fans couldn't believe their ears. The snippet wasn't even 2 minutes long, but every bar felt like a bullet. Every line like a coded message straight from Kendrick's heart to Drake's ego. The track, allegedly titled Mirror Talk, wasn't on any streaming platform yet. But somehow it spread faster than wildfire. Twitter Spaces filled up within minutes. TikTok was flooded with reaction videos. And Reddit threads were already dissecting every metaphor like it was a national investigation. In the snippet, Kendrick's voice sounded calm, but that calm had venom behind it. "They say money change friends, but fame change families," he rapped, followed by a line that made everyone's jaw drop. "You hide behind streams, I hide behind legacy." That's when fans knew it wasn't a subliminal, it was a direct shot at Drake. The crowd went crazy online, calling it the second coming of Control. People started comparing the tension to the days when Nas and Jay were throwing lyrical grenades. But this time it felt different. It wasn't just about rap dominance. It was about pride, authenticity, and betrayal. Within hours, Kendrick's team went ghost. No one was picking up calls, no official statement came out. Meanwhile, Drake's camp started doing damage control. One of Drake's close producers went live on Instagram, clearly frustrated. "Y'all think this is about lyrics?" he said, pacing around a studio filled with dim blue lights. "Nah, this about contracts, money, and people who couldn't stay loyal." Fans were confused. What contracts? What money? But then the internet detectives got to work, connecting dots that might have never been meant to connect. Rumors started swirling that a deal between Drake's label and a major brand had suddenly fallen through. A few sources whispered that Kendrick's recent actions might have influenced it. They didn't want to be part of the drama. One anonymous insider told a small blog they pulled a few million out of Drake's upcoming project funding. The blogs ran with it. "Kendrick costs Drake millions," the headlines screamed. Was it true? Nobody knew. But the internet didn't care. The story had already gone viral. On the other side of Los Angeles, Kendrick was spotted at his studio with his cousin, Baby Keem. A fan caught a blurry photo and posted it with the caption, "He looks too calm for a man who just started a war." And that was exactly what made it eerie. Kendrick wasn't reacting. No tweets, no lives, no cryptic posts. Silence. It was like he threw a grenade and walked away without looking back. Fans started calling it the Kendrick way. Let the art speak, then disappear. Meanwhile, Drake was reportedly not taking the situation lightly. A few days later, sources close to his circle said he canceled a private appearance in Toronto. A friend of his, someone who claimed to be in the room, went live and said, "Man, Drake's furious. He feels betrayed. He thought Kendrick moved past all this after the Control verse. He even talked like personally. He didn't see this coming." The comment section exploded. Betrayed. What do you mean by that? One viewer asked. Another replied, so there was a secret truce. Bro, this deeper than we thought. As if things couldn't get more dramatic. An old clip of Drake and Kendrick together at a festival years ago started circulating again. In the clip, they're laughing, hugging, sharing a moment that now feels like a ghost of a friendship long gone. Fans reposted it with captions like, "How it started versus how it's going." Everyone wanted to know what broke that brotherhood. Was it competition, jealousy, or something more personal? And then the first twist hit. A voice note leaked from an unknown source. In it, a man who sounded suspiciously like one of Drake's team members claimed that Drake had helped write up few lines on a song Kendrick worked on years ago but never got credited. He used the idea, flipped it, and never said thank you, the voice alleged. Instantly, Twitter exploded again. Could it be that this whole beef wasn't just artistic rivalry, but unfinished business from behind the scenes? Hip-hop blogs started painting pictures of a secret fallout. An argument that allegedly happened during a private recording session back in 2018. One article even claimed the two nearly came to blows. Drake felt played. It read, "Kendrick said something about artistry over popularity, and Drake took it personal." Fans couldn't verify any of it, but the narrative stuck. It made sense. It explained the tension, the cold silence, and now the reignition of a war nobody saw coming. By now, social media was a battlefield. People picked sides like it was a championship game. Hashtags like #TeamKendrick and #TeamDrake trended worldwide. Memes popped up of Kendrick holding a pen like a sword and Drake staring out of a private jet window in thought. Even celebrities started weighing in. Lil Baby tweeted, "Hip-hop feel alive again," while Megan Thee Stallion posted a cryptic "real bars always win" on her story. Fans dissected every post, trying to read between the lines. Then, out of nowhere, Joe Budden stepped in. During his podcast episode that week, he didn't hold back. His tone was half amused, half furious. "This right here is what I've been talking about," Joe said, leaning toward the mic. "We let the industry turn hip-hop into a popularity contest, and now real artists fight to bring it back to bars. But Drake losing millions? That's not just music. That's karma catching up." His co-hosts laughed nervously, but Joe wasn't done. And don't get it twisted, he continued. Kendrick ain't innocent either. Let's play chess, not checkers. This man waited years to drop this bomb. Within hours, clips from that podcast went viral. Joe's words hit both camps hard. Drake supporters called him bitter, accusing him of chasing relevance off their names. Kendrick's fans, on the other hand, praised Joe for telling the truth nobody wants to hear. Even the Shade Room reposted it with a caption, "Joe Budden adds fuel to the fire." Behind the scenes, things were reportedly getting even messier. A close friend of Kendrick's allegedly told a local outlet that this wasn't just about Drake, it was about the system that rewards commercial hits over lyrical depth. "Kendrick feels like he's been too quiet for too long," the friend said. He watched people crown Drake king of the game, but that don't sit right with him. He wants to remind the world where the real crown belongs. The quote spread like wildfire. And now it wasn't just a feud, it was a cultural debate. But here's where it got truly wild. A mysterious post appeared on an underground hip-hop forum, claiming that Kendrick wasn't done yet. The post said he recorded not one, but 3 more tracks aimed at Drake, each one more personal than the last. The poster claimed one of the songs exposed a secret business fallout involving Drake's management and a label executive Kendrick used to work with. Fans debated if it was real or just a troll, but given how accurate leaks had been lately, Nobody could ignore it. And in the middle of all this noise, Drake finally broke his silence. Not with a tweet, not with an interview, but with a cryptic Instagram story. A black screen with the words, "Never let jealousy write your verse." That's all it said, but it sent shockwaves across social media. Fans dissected it like scripture. Was he admitting guilt? Was it a clapback? Was it denial? Nobody knew, but everyone had an opinion by nightfall. Toronto was buzzing with rumors that Drake had already started recording his response track. Producers were flying in, writers were on standby, and fans were refreshing Twitter every second waiting for the next move. The energy was electric. Everyone could feel it. This wasn't just another internet spat. This was two of the biggest artists of a generation preparing to go head-to-head again. And just when it seemed like that was the peak of the drama, a shocking revelation hit the scene, something that made everything before it look small. The shocking revelation came from a source. Nobody expected an engineer who once worked at both Drake's and Kendrick studios. He came forward anonymously on a late-night YouTube live, voice disguised, face blurred. He claimed that the real reason behind Kendrick's recent shots wasn't just about respect or money. It was about a private betrayal involving someone they both trusted. The engineer spoke carefully, as if every word could cost him his job. It wasn't just music, he said. There was a project, a collaboration that was supposed to change the game. But somebody took the idea, flipped it, and ran off with it. Kendrick never forgot that. Fans immediately started connecting the dots. Could this be about that rumored secret joint album that Drake and Kendrick were supposedly working on back in 2017? The one that suddenly vanished without explanation? Back then, fans thought it was just label politics. But now, this engineer's words made it sound like something way deeper. Creative betrayal that cut personal within hours. Clips from that live were everywhere. Hip-hop Twitter turned into a courtroom. Fans were posting timelines, screenshots, even old interviews trying to prove who stole what. One viral tweet read, "So Drake took the concept for the Lost album and turned it into Scorpion. Bro, that's wild." Another said, "This why Kendrick been quiet, he been plotting." Meanwhile, Drake's circle seemed rattled. One of his longtime producers, 40, posted and deleted a cryptic tweet. "Loyalty is a two-way street." The tweet was gone in minutes, but screenshots spread faster than wildfire. Blogs ran headlines like "Drake's team in turmoil after betrayal claims," and everyone wanted answers. Kendrick, though, still silent. No confirmation, no denial, no tweet. His team just kept posting old clips of him performing like a reminder of his dominance. It felt strategic, like he knew the less he said, the louder the world would talk. The internet, however, wasn't done spinning stories. A few conspiracy channels on YouTube started claiming that Joe Budden's sudden involvement wasn't random at all. One channel posted a 20-minute breakdown titled "Joe Budden Knew Before It Dropped," alleging that Joe had inside info from industry contacts. "He'd been teasing this kind of fallout for months," the host said. "Listen to his old podcast episodes, he's been planting seeds." Joe himself seemed to love the attention. He went live the next night, grinning ear to ear. "They say I'm stirring the pot," he said. "Nah, I'm just serving the soup that was already boiling." Fans flooded the comments, some laughing, some accusing him of being messy for views. But Joe didn't care. Listen, if Drake took from Kendrick, that's wild. If Kendrick plotting revenge, that's genius. Either way, hip-hop wins. But behind the laughter, things were turning darker. Reports came out that Drake had lost a major sponsorship deal after the leaked track controversy. An entertainment finance blog claimed that one of his biggest brand partners temporarily suspended collaboration, pending public image review. In simple terms, money was walking out the door. Insiders estimated the setback at around $5 million, and that's when Drake's demeanor reportedly changed. A close friend told TMZ off the record, "He's not sleeping, man. He's calling meetings at 3 a.m., talking about loyalty, trust, snakes. It's not about the bars anymore, it's about his name." That same week, a private listening event in Los Angeles got canceled last minute. Fans who were invited said security told them something came up. But rumors swirled that Kendrick's name was the reason. Supposedly, one of the tracks played at rehearsal had subtle lines addressing the situation, and word got out. Drake didn't want it going public until he could respond. Meanwhile, Kendrick's camp was busy too. People close to him started dropping mysterious clues online. One of his longtime collaborators posted a picture of a chessboard with only one caption. Check. Another wrote, "Truth is the loudest diss." Fans were convinced something huge was coming by the weekend. Speculation reached fever pitch. A journalist from a major hip-hop mag claimed she'd heard snippets of Kendrick's unreleased follow-up tracks, describing them as surgical, emotional, and brutal. She said one song included a verse where Kendrick rapped, "You can buy charts, but you can't buy honor." That line alone sent social media into meltdown. People were begging for the full song to drop. Drake, sensing the pressure, finally spoke publicly during an impromptu appearance at a nightclub in Miami. Between songs, he grabbed the mic and said, "They love to see me fall. But guess what? I built my empire off people doubting me. I'm still here." The crowd went wild, but cameras caught his face serious, almost tense. This wasn't playful Drake. This was a man on edge. The next morning, blogs posted headlines like, "Drake responds to Kendrick with nightclub speech, and Drake refuses to back down." But fans noticed something else. The tone had changed. It wasn't just competitive energy anymore. It felt like pride was on the line. And just when things seemed to be calming down, Joe Budden dropped another bomb. He revealed that he'd received a message from someone very close to the situation, saying that Kendrick's diss wasn't spontaneous, it was planned months in advance, possibly tied to a secret documentary project. Joe leaned into the mic and said, "If that's true, this whole thing might have been a setup from the start." Drake walked right into a trap. The internet lost its mind. Theories exploded. Fans started wondering, was this real beef or a marketing masterclass? Some thought Kendrick was about to release a visual project exposing the industry, using Drake as a symbol of everything fake. Others believed Joe was exaggerating for clout. Either way, everyone was tuned in. That same night, someone hacked into a major hip-hop subreddit and dropped what they claimed were snippets of unreleased diss bars. The audio was low quality, distorted, but the voice sounded eerily like Drake. One of the alleged lines said, "You talk morals but sit with snakes." Within minutes, it was trending everywhere. Drake's team quickly denied it, saying, "That's AI garbage," but the damage was done. The line was already meme gold. By now, the entire community was on edge. Fans were staying up late, refreshing pages, waiting for the next move. TikTok creators made hour-long explainers, and Twitter Spaces became 24/7 debate hubs. Old collaborators were being dragged into the mess. Schoolboy Q, Travis Scott. Even Rihanna's name got thrown around in wild fan theories about secret allegiances. The emotional toll on both camps was becoming visible. One of Drake's close friends posted a story that simply said, "When your brother turns into your rival, nobody wins." Kendrick's cousin Keem responded with a laughing emoji. Fans screenshotted that too. It became a meme, then a headline, and in the middle of all this noise, both artists disappeared. No posts, no interviews, no sightings. It was the calm before the storm. Even Joe Budden went silent for a few days. Fans were left in suspense, speculating whether a response track was being mixed as they spoke. Then, on a random Monday morning, something happened that nobody expected. An exclusive report from an anonymous industry insider claimed that Kendrick and Drake had actually spoken on the phone the night before. Allegedly, the conversation didn't go well. It started calm, the source said, but then it turned heated real quick. Both felt betrayed. There was yelling. Someone hung up first. Nobody could confirm if it really happened, but the thought alone reignited the chaos. Fans flooded Twitter with quotes like, "If that call was real, this next drop is gonna be nuclear." And sure enough, a few hours later, a mysterious countdown timer appeared on Kendrick's official site. Black background, white numbers ticking down from 72 hours. No caption, no explanation. Fans went ballistic. Everyone knew what it meant something big was coming. That timer was like the drumbeat of war. Every influencer, every hip-hop page, every gossip blog posted about it. Even Joe Budden came out of silence and tweeted, "Here we go." But what dropped after that countdown shocked everyone. Not just because of the music, but because of the message behind it. The countdown ended. And the moment the clock hit 0, Kendrick dropped what the internet is already calling the apocalypse track. It wasn't just a song, it was a statement. A cinematic experience wrapped in 38 minutes of raw emotion. Storytelling and barbed lines aimed squarely at Drake. Fans immediately flooded social media, calling it Kendrick's masterclass in lyrical warfare. Kendrick's masterclass in lyrical warfare. The opening bars set the tone. Kendrick's voice was calm, deliberate, almost conversational, but every word dripped with intensity. "You chase numbers while I chase legacy." He rapped a line that seemed to echo everything the world had been speculating. Fans dissected it instantly. Some argued it was a nod to Drake's chart dominance. Others claimed it referenced that alleged lost album conspiracy. The forums exploded with theories. But it wasn't just the lyrics. Kendrick had included samples, interludes, and background audio that many believed were references to private conversations, studio sessions, and even moments between him and Drake from years ago. Some lines were so personal that fans couldn't believe they made it into a track. "You smiled when loyalty died, but I saw the betrayal," one verse said, sending speculation into overdrive. Drake reportedly heard the track within hours. An insider told a hip-hop blog that his reaction was intense. "He was quiet at first," the source said. "Then he got up, started pacing the room. He kept replaying certain bars, muttering under his breath. Emotions ran high. This wasn't the Drake who smiled for cameras. This was someone personally attacked. Someone whose pride and reputation were on the line, while fans were analyzing every second of Kendrick's track." Joe Budden jumped back into the mix. On a special podcast episode dedicated to the track, he dissected it line by line. "Listen," he said, leaning into the mic. "This isn't just bars. This is strategic demolition. Kendrick isn't trying to win charts. He's dismantling a narrative, and Drake didn't see it coming." His co-hosts nodded, some laughing, some in awe. Clips of the podcast immediately went viral, and then the rumors began wild, unverified but irresistible. Insiders claimed that Drake had immediately scheduled studio sessions to record a response. Supposedly, he wanted the world to see his side, to reclaim the narrative. "He's not just responding," one source said. "He's trying to outdo Kendrick. Every detail, every beat is calculated." Fans, naturally, began setting up reaction polls, predicting whose track would drop first, who would have the louder punchlines, and who would win the war. Amid all this chaos, a shocking twist emerged. Kendrick's cousin, Baby Keem, was rumored to have leaked a short teaser of Kendrick's track before the official drop. The clip, only 30 seconds long, included a line that made fans gasp. "They thought I forgot, but I never forget the hands that shook my trust." Speculation went wild. Who was he referring to? Drake, the label. Someone else entirely. Theories multiplied like wildfire. The internet frenzy reached new heights. When fan accounts started sharing alleged text screenshots between Kendrick and Drake, the messages suggested that both had been aware of each other's intentions for months, contradicting the narrative of spontaneity. Some texts were as simple as, "You ready?" Others, more pointed, "Don't underestimate me." Fans debated authenticity, but the hype was undeniable. Then came another layer of drama. A former label executive who had worked with both artists hinted on Instagram that Kendrick's track had more than lyrical punches, it contained hidden business moves. "This isn't just a diss track," the executive wrote. "It's an entire strategy to shift the industry balance. If Drake doesn't respond smartly, he could lose more than pride, he could lose power." The post was deleted quickly. But screenshots circulated, fueling even more speculation. Amid all this, social media became a battlefield. Memes flew, TikTok creators dissected bar by bar, and YouTube channels churned out hourly updates. Fans posted reaction videos, some crying, some hyped, some angry. The family of both artists reportedly got involved too. Sources claimed that Drake's relatives were advising him to stay calm, while Kendrick's inner circle celebrated the artistry and precision of his drop. Emotions ran high, and the public felt like they were living through history. But then, as if the drama wasn't intense enough, Joe Budden returned with a bombshell observation. He suggested that Kendrick's track had subtle subliminals aimed at other industry figures, not just Drake. "Listen carefully," he said on his podcast. "There are lines about loyalty, power, and influence that might shake more than just Drake. This is bigger than a befits, a warning." Fans immediately began dissecting the lyrics for hidden references to executives, producers, and other artists. Every bar became a clue, and speculation went into overdrive, while fans argued online. Insiders hinted at a private meeting that happened behind closed doors. Apparently, a neutral mediator tried to bring Kendrick and Drake together, but the talks didn't go smoothly. One insider said they were both there, faces tense, voices raised at times. Nobody won. Nobody backed down. The meeting reportedly ended with both leaving separately, each more determined than before. The next day, social media exploded again. Clips surfaced of fans reacting live to Kendrick's track. One video, now trending globally, showed a young fan shouting, "Kendrick just ended Drake's week." Another showed a fan calmly analyzing the lyrics, saying, "This is art. This is history." It was clear that the track had struck a nerve. Even casual listeners were drawn into the drama. Drake, meanwhile, was reportedly strategizing. A source claimed he was in a private studio with top producers and writers, carefully crafting a response. The insider said, "Every beat, every line is under scrutiny. They're making sure it lands hard, but also shows maturity. It's not just revenge, it's a reclaiming of reputation." Fans waited impatiently, speculating about potential features, surprise leaks, and visuals. The tension escalated further when a supposed behind-the-scenes clip of Kendrick in the studio went viral. In it, he's seen laughing with his team, confident, almost celebratory. Captions read, "He knows he won, and Kendrick feels untouchable." The clip sparked debates. Was it arrogance, confidence, or a psychological move to intimidate Drake? Even the media weighed in. Major hip-hop magazines released opinion pieces dissecting the track's impact. One headline read, "Kendrick doesn't just drop bars, he drops bombs." Another read, "Drake under siege. Can the king fight back?" The coverage only amplified the drama. Every outlet wanted a piece of the story, and the narrative kept evolving by the hour. Amid all the hype, fans noticed a subtle detail. Kendrick's track ended not with a diss, but with a haunting question: what happens when loyalty dies? The line was enough to keep the audience speculating for days. Was it aimed at Drake personally, at the industry, or both? Nobody knew for sure. The ambiguity added layers to the drama, and just when people thought they had caught up, Joe Budden added yet another twist. In a follow-up podcast, he revealed that Kendrick's track might be part of a larger campaign, hinting at upcoming visual releases, collaborations, and even a documentary exposing industry secrets. "Mark my words," he said, "this isn't over. Kendrick is playing a long game." Fans went wild. Countdowns started again, and social media prepared for the next phase of the saga. By now, the entire hip-hop community was caught in the middle. Fans of both artists debated, argued, and created content non-stop. The family, friends, collaborators, and even celebrities were drawn into the conversation. Emotions ran high. The stakes weren't just musical, they were personal, financial, and cultural. And just as the internet thought the story had peaked, whispers of Drake's upcoming response began surfacing. Insiders hinted that Drake's track would be dropping soon, and that it might include revelations even Kendrick didn't anticipate. Fans braced themselves. The war wasn't over, it was evolving. The rumors of Drake's response track set the internet ablaze. Fans were glued to every page, refreshing social media feeds like it was a life or death countdown. Insiders claimed the response wasn't just a song, it was a full-scale production, with visuals, hidden messages, and potential celebrity cameos that nobody had anticipated. The hype was real. Reports surfaced that Drake had been recording in a secret studio in Toronto. According to sources, he brought in some of the industry's top producers, writers, and even ghostwriters to make sure every bar hit hard. "He's meticulous," one insider said. "Every second is calculated. He doesn't just want to respond, he wants to dominate the narrative." Fans speculated endlessly about which artists might feature, with names like Rihanna, Lil Wayne, and even Future being thrown around. Meanwhile, Kendrick's camp was enjoying the chaos. Baby Keem posted cryptic emojis on Instagram flames a crown, and a chess piece implying Kendrick was always a few moves ahead. Fans went wild trying to decode the messages. Some thought it was a playful tease, others a warning to Drake, "Don't step in the wrong lane." The suspense was palpable as the days passed. Social media exploded with reactions to Kendrick's previous track. TikTok videos recreating iconic lines went viral. Memes comparing the two artists' styles flooded Twitter, and YouTube channels churned out non-stop breakdowns. Even casual listeners were tuning in. It felt like the entire world was watching the war unfold in real time. Then, just when fans thought they had seen it all, Joe Budden threw another curveball. On his live stream, he suggested that Drake might have leaked subtle hints in public appearances. He played clips of interviews where Drake allegedly dropped lines that could double as subliminal shots at Kendrick. "Look at the details," Joe said. "Drake is preparing. This isn't accidental. He's building anticipation." Fans dissected every twitch of Drake's eyebrows, every laugh, every line of dialogue. Theories multiplied overnight. Drake's inner circle reportedly noticed Kendrick's growing influence online and decided to strike preemptively. Sources said Drake's management team arranged private listening sessions for top influencers and celebrities. The goal was to control the narrative, to frame Drake as both a strategic genius and a master lyricist responding to the challenge. Fans speculated that these sessions might leak online, further fueling the drama. The tension between the two camps became more personal. Insiders claimed that a small argument had broken out between Drake and one of his closest friends, allegedly over whether to go public or wait for Kendrick's next move. The friend reportedly said, "You're giving him too much power if you respond too soon." Drake, according to sources, snapped back, "I don't wait for anyone. I move when it's right." The disagreement leaked, fans caught wind of it, and social media erupted. Amid the chaos, an unexpected twist occurred. Kendrick's team released a short video clip, almost cinematic, showing Kendrick walking through a deserted city street at night, headphones on, seemingly ignoring the chaos surrounding him. Captions read, "The King moves silently." Fans went crazy, interpreting it as a message that Kendrick was confident, calm, and ready for whatever Drake had planned. But the real bombshell came when a leaked audio snippet surfaced online. Allegedly, Drake's upcoming track opened with a line referencing the lost album Conspiracy. "I built my throne from the pieces you tried to steal." Fans immediately connected it to the feud's origin story, and forums exploded. The snippet lasted only 15 seconds, but it was enough to spark heated debates. Was Drake confirming the betrayal, denying it, or simply flexing lyrically? The feud began to affect the broader music industry as well. Collaborators, label executives, and even sponsors were reportedly treading carefully. One major brand supposedly paused all campaigns involving Drake until the story settled. Insiders suggested Kendrick's subtle influence over public opinion was causing partners to reconsider deals. "People are watching," one executive said. "Whoever loses this war loses trust, money, and influence." Even family members reportedly weighed in. Drake's close relatives were said to be urging him to respond carefully. while Kendrick's family and close collaborators were celebrating every social media reaction as a victory. The drama had moved beyond music hit, was personal, financial, and cultural. As the countdown for Drake's track approached, fans noticed another oddity. A series of cryptic posts appeared on Kendrick's social media, featuring images of chess pieces, burning candles, and blurred cityscapes. Captions included phrases like "next," "move," and "patience is a weapon." Fans theorized that Kendrick was signaling he anticipated Drake's response and was ready to counter it strategically. The day Drake's track supposedly dropped, chaos erupted. Snippets leaked online before the official release, with fans claiming Drake's delivery was precise, sharp, and emotionally charged. One line in particular stood out: "They taught me the rules. Now I rewrite the game." Social media exploded, with reaction videos, memes, and analysis flooding every platform. Fans debated whose bars landed harder, whose strategy was smarter, and who truly controlled the narrative. In the middle of this, Budden returned to podcast airwaves with yet another twist. He revealed that he'd spoken to multiple insiders, suggesting both tracks were only part of a bigger plan. "You think this is beef?" Joe said, shaking his head. "This is strategy, artistry, and influence on a level most people can't even imagine. We're seeing the modern blueprint of hip-hop power." Fans were stunned, many saying Joe might have the biggest insight yet. Unexpectedly, an interview with a former collaborator of both artists surfaced online. The collaborator revealed they've always respected each other, but pride and legacy get in the way. Nobody wants to back down. Nobody wants to compromise. But underneath it all, they know they're part of something historic. This added a layer of complexity. Fans now questioned whether the feud was personal, performative, or both. By the end of the week, the internet was consumed. Every post, video, meme, and news article fueled the ongoing narrative. Fans created timelines, reaction threads, and even fan fiction about the feud. The emotional roller coaster continued as people debated who was winning, who was losing, what the ultimate outcome might be. Yet both artists remained largely unreachable in public. Sources claim that behind closed doors, discussions, strategy sessions, and preparations continued at full speed. Drake was said to be meticulously planning his next move, while Kendrick was enjoying the chaos he had created. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Then, in a surprising twist, a major hip-hop award show reportedly approached both camps to negotiate a live performance that would feature both artists. Supposedly as a gesture of reconciliation, but with a catch: the media knew nothing about it. Insiders said the plan was to have the world watch them share a stage, creating the ultimate drama. Fans immediately speculated if it would be a collaboration, a face-off, or a controlled clash of artistry. As whispers of this live event spread, social media erupted. TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube were flooded with speculation, memes, and heated debates. Every fan had a prediction. Every influencer offered commentary, and the tension reached an all-time high. This wasn't just a rap war anymore. It was a cultural phenomenon, a media spectacle, and a test of legacy. And just when the story seemed to reach its peak, another surprise appeared. Allegedly, an unreleased verse from Kendrick's earlier recordings surfaced online, hinting that he knew Drake's response before he even recorded his own track. Fans debated whether this was intentional leak, coincidence, or genius marketing. The line read, "You think you're ready, but the board was set months ago." The internet went wild, and just like that, the rap world has officially been turned upside down. Kendrick's masterful moves, Drake's looming response, and Joe Budden's explosive commentary have created a storm that shows no signs of slowing down. Fans are divided, social media is on fire, and the entire industry is holding its breath. Every lyric, every move, every subtle hint has become part of a story that's bigger than just music kits, about legacy, power, and pride. The drama isn't over, and honestly, nobody knows what's coming next. Will Drake strike back harder than ever? Will Kendrick solidify his dominance or reveal even more surprises? And how will Joe Budden's predictions play out in the days ahead? This is your moment to be part of the conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think is winning this war? Are we witnessing history in the making? Or is there a twist nobody saw coming? Smash that like button if you're as shocked and hyped as we are. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single update on this unfolding saga. Share this video with your friends and debate every bar, every move, and every leak. The world is watching, the stakes are high. And you get to be front row to the chaos. Remember? In this game, the story keeps evolving and the next chapter could change everything. So stay tuned, stay loud, and stay ready because in the rap world, nothing is ever as it seems, and every move counts. The war is far from over and you're officially in the middle of it.